Welcome, friends. I'm Eric Marjorie, President and founder of Premier Opera Foundation, an organization whose mission is dedicated to promote and preserve the operatic art form through discovering, nurturing, and honoring the most promising up-and-coming opera singers in the world today, and enhancing their careers through financial, educational, and ongoing advisory support. With that, I invite you to the Premier Opera Foundation International Vocal Competition 2021. This year, our fifth annual, was our biggest year yet. Essentially two competitions in one. There's a virtual component, which is what we are taking part in today, and then there's a live component, which will be next week live in New York City. We've received hundreds of applicants from nearly 55 countries around the world, and now for you today we have our 15 virtual finalists who you will hear. Incredible emerging professional singers hailing from the USA, Switzerland, Mongolia, Austria, South Korea, Germany, Serbia, Argentina, Spain, Croatia, and Armenia. Aside from that, we will grant over $35,000 worth in cash prizes and special awards, with every finalist receiving a cash prize. So with that, I would also like to introduce my collaborator and partner, David Blackburn. Hi, David. How are you?
Hey, Eric. I'm David Blackburn. I'm coming to you from the other side of the world. He's in New York. I'm in Italy. It's been a wonderful time. This first half of the competition, like Eric said, last year, because of the world situation, obviously, we were completely virtual the entire time. And so this year, since the world is trying to open up a bit, and especially the opera world, we decided to do half virtual and half live. And artists from all over the world could choose which was better for them. If they could get to New York for the live semifinals, then they would sing an audition for live jury. If they couldn't, then they could submit their materials virtually, and they would be judged by a completely different jury that was judging all of the virtual applications. What's the exciting thing about it is we made a decision early on that instead of having a competition where virtual and live were judged all together in the same pot, we decided that we would take the prize money and split it in half so that each of the sides, the virtual side and the live side, would each have equal prizes. So nobody would feel like, well, I didn't get to sing live, therefore they didn't hear me really well. So tonight is the finals of the virtual side of this procedure. And let me tell you how that's going to work tonight. Because the internet is what it is, what we've decided to do is we're obviously, as you see, we're live streaming from a Zoom meeting where we'll be joined by members of the jury, maybe a special guest, and also the singers that are singing tonight will be joining us to talk so that you get to know about them. These are real humans from all over the world that actually have a path that has brought them to us tonight. But then when it comes time for them to sing, we have videos that they've prepared, especially for this competition or recently, that we've chosen, the jury and us have chosen the best of the videos to show them. And then we will play the video so that there's no fear that somehow internet connection or the whole technology of it all gets in the way and you don't hear an artist at their best. So this is how we're going to do right now. Let me first tell you the jury that is watching. The jury, since obviously they can't be with us here online on the Zoom, they're all watching via the live stream at home, in their offices, wherever they are, hopefully not driving. Don't watch a live stream while you're driving. And they all have electronic rating sheets that they fill in their votes from wherever they are in the world. And they're automatically tabulated into a central sheet that we will have access to see the final tabulations and the final rankings. But we have joining us tonight in no particular order, just the order from the website, is David Lomeli, who's the Chief Artistic Officer and the casting consultant for the Santa Fe Opera, the Bayerische Staatsoper in Munich, and the Dallas Opera. We have Christian Karlstedt, who's the casting director and the consultant for the Staatsoper Hanover, the Stadttheater Klagenfurt, in Austria, and the Concertgebouw Matinee, as well as consulting for the Oper in Berlin. We have Konstantin Orbelian, who's the music director and chief conductor at New York City Opera, also the Kaunas City Symphony Orchestra, and Delos Records. Christian Jerome Thimme, who's the chief artistic operations director, the Betriebsdirektor, we say in Germany, of Theater Dortmund in Germany. We have Markus Karl, who is the artistic consultant and casting at the Staatstheater Wiesbaden, the Hessische Staatstheater Wiesbaden. We have Thomas Kadenbach, who is the head of the Junges Ensemble at the Semperoper Dresden, which is the young artist ensemble at the Semperoper Dresden in Germany. We have Brian Speck, who is the program director for the Houston Grand Opera Studio here on or there where you are in the United States. We have Beatrice Benzi, who's a master vocal coach, who's on the music staff at Teatro alla Scala Milano. I think we've heard of that, and is also one of the coaches that helps with the Accademia di La Scala and the Institute for Young Dramatic Voices, which was the brainchild of Dolores Ajic, that helps dramatic voices form from a very early age. We have Gerald Martin Moore, who is a professor of voice and the director of the Yale Opera at the Yale School of Music, but he's also on the consulting staff of the Glyndebourne Festival. He's on staff at the Ravinia Festival, Music Academy of the West, Song Studio at Carnegie Hall, and he's a consultant for Decca Records as well. This evening also, we have Andres Spürer Rodriguez, who is the artistic director of the Fundación Ibáñez Atkinson in Santiago, Chile. And we have Mr. Eric Marjore from Premier Opera Foundation, Artist Management, and the Premier Opera Vocal Arts Institute, and myself, David Blackburn. So it's really a joy to have such
quite a list, David. Quite a list, yes. And that's what's interesting about the competition is that not only is it an international vocal competition where we'll give away cash prizes and special awards, but there's this professional casting component to it, which I think it kind of sets it apart in a way that not only can singers win awards, but they could also potentially be professionally cast at any of these theaters from these casting directors that are part of the panel.
Absolutely. I think that's one of the exciting things about this competition, because most people go into competitions hoping to be heard and hoping to be discovered, but many times the jury is focused on one way of listening to the artists that are singing. But we make a point of telling the jury to listen not only for the competition, but also for your future seasons, because sometimes somebody might not fit the needs of the competition, but could fit into a future season of casting, and then they win one or both ways, which is exciting.
Right.
We actually have a member of the jury here, if we want to bring him in before we start off. Gerald Martin Moore, that we mentioned earlier, is with us briefly to kind of discuss. He's been involved for the past couple of years, yeah? Hi, Gerald.
Hi.
He has a
Gerald.
much nicer house than I have.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. I think you're in a loop. Do you have headphones you can put on by any chance, Gerald? Do you have headphones you can put on by any chance?
Sorry.
Gerald?
Yes.
That's okay.
Yes.
That's okay. If not, we get in. Oh, well, you have very fancy headphones too. There we go.
Let's see.
How's that?
Oh, that's much better.
Perfect.
That's
Thank you,
much
Gerald.
better.
Good. Sorry about that.
Wonderful. How is New Haven?
Pass. We'll go on to the next question. I mean, the city of New Haven.
But you're new there. This is your first year at Yale.
Second year.
Second year.
Yeah.
And how are you finding it?
Oh, loving
work,
Yale, loving it, and we have a fantastic level.
Oh, this is wonderful. As we will find out, actually. Um,
I
but then
hope so.
I do have a question for you, which is because you've made a career both training young artists as they're beginning, but also working with and coaching and keeping in line some of the more famous artists that exist in the world today. Wouldn't that be fair to say?
Yeah. Hmm.
How do you approach them differently? What is the difference there? What's the way that you do that? How you give a voice lesson to a starter and a voice lesson to a superstar? Is there any difference?
Well, of course, no, there is a big difference. And I try to pass on what I learned from the big stars to the younger singers. And big stars will come perhaps with a specific issue in mind. They want to look at one aspect of something technically, rather than the whole thing. And you're adding to something that has already been formed with other people. So you have to be, I mean, that's also interesting, but that you have to be careful with how you do that.
Yes.
Very interesting.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah,
But
go ahead, David.
for the big stars that I work with, I have learned as much from them, and it's been great to be able to pass that on to the younger ones, you know? So it's give and take.
Absolutely. Gerald, what do you just a question? What do you think kind of I know that there are singers with great voices, but what do you think are things that kind of allow them to have a career and advance in the career by not just have it's not just the voice, right? There are other aspects that, meld together to create one that will have a career. And I mean, are the things that you notice that are important or necessary to do that?
Having a personality, I mean, I think it really has to have personality and something distinctive. You know, bringing something individual rather. I mean, plenty of generic singing will have can have a decent career, but to be special, you really have to have something distinctive, and not worry too much about trying to please everyone.
That's interesting. Yeah, yeah. So distinctive in the sense of like a personality on the stage or a really distinctive vocal color or a way you use your voice,
Of course, I mean, I feel my particular angle or aspect when I'm judging is to try and help them technically so that they have the ability to free that personality. For me, you can't really do one without the other. One should not be compensating for the other, but should complement it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Which is interesting because it makes me think I was having a conversation recently who was saying that it's impossible to learn how to sing without also learning how to be an artist, and with the language and the nuance and the artistry all together, that if you break them apart, it doesn't make any sense. Would you agree with that?
I do. I think that's the finished product. But I think in the beginning, it's like trying to learn to juggle with 10 Skittles. You have to start with 3 and add more in. I don't think you can do technique, artistry, language, drama all in one go. I think you incorporate them a bit at a time in the training. You know, as someone like Renee Fleming said, it takes 5 years to learn to sing and another 5 years to take that on stage with you. And that means consistently, I think.
Consistently. Yeah. Absolutely. And I think that's something to impart that it really does take time to get the technique and build the career. It's definitely not an overnight thing. You know, sometimes singers see, a younger singer rising real quick, but really 9 times out of 10, they put in a tremendous amount of work day in and day out and work with their teachers and coaches. And, you also learn a lot on stage too, which is another important aspect. But it takes time, and that's great because, they say the journey of it is probably the most exciting part,
It's true. And I think that a lot of young singers today are very anxious to do it immediately. But if you read the biographies of some of the greatest singers, you will see that they really didn't find consistent success till they were 30 or sometimes even later. So I think they just have to try to be a little patient, you know.
It's true. This is true. What do you see as the last thing I'll ask, and then I know you have something to say, Eric, and then we got to get to the singers and the singing. But what do you see as the benefit, for example, of a competition like this, where singers from all over, at all levels, I mean, we have to stress that there are some that are just beginning, some that are quite accomplished, some that have had careers already. What is the benefit that they get from presenting themselves to a jury like is adjudicating this competition?
I would say the benefit is the exposure, which has a plus and a minus depending on the level of maturity you're at in your career, is that all this different feedback, which, because of course today, all these judges, we will not have the same scores because we're looking at and for different things. So when a singer says, oh, I really look forward to feedback, sometimes it's very confusing for them because they'll get, and so I think the lesson is, like I said earlier, you cannot please everyone. So if you change everything you do depending on the last person's feedback, you'll end up very confused. You have to take an overall picture of the feedback and decide which ones you're going to take and act on, and also feel inside yourself what you feel you have to express. So there is a benefit and there's a risk, but that's the nature of the business.
Well, indeed. So, well, listen, Gerald, you have work to do, so we're going to let you jump off of the Zoom meeting, and break a leg listening to everyone, and hope some people surprise you that maybe you felt differently about during the first rounds, or maybe, in both ways.
Hope so. No, I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you very much, Gerald.
Cheers.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, David, I wanted to say something, just like a little housekeeping. If everyone will look into the description of the YouTube, you'll see there today where you could download the link to today's program. So it's the first link there in the description. You download it, and you'll see the program today and a bunch of information that we have there that we're excited for you to check out. Additionally, we will be voting on the audience favorite. So anyone listening today, also in the description, there is a link to the audience favorite prize, whereby at the end of that you think was your favorite, essentially. So we're very excited about that.
Wonderful. So let's let our first group of singers in. Is that okay? Everybody sound good with that? Here we go. We're going to bring the first 4 singers in. We'll get to meet them, and then we'll hear them sing. I think everybody has to put on headphones, or you start to echo. So, hello there, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Hello.
Hello. Wow, so we have actually literally, we're basically kind of covering the world here. So, Ochir-san, where are you right now?
Hello, David and Marjo. Nice to see you again after 1 year.
This is true.
Yeah.
What country are you in right now?
I'm now in Mongolia.
Wow. And so,
capital city.
So it's very early in the morning for you right now.
In this, our country is midnight.
Oh, so not bad.
Yeah.
And then Kali, which is interesting because we have this strange yin yang thing this time, where you're an American who is based in Switzerland, correct?
Yes.
And later on, we have a Swiss based in America.
Love it.
And where are you right now?
I'm at home in Basel.
in Basel, and Ricardo, you told me we spoke on the phone, so we have the same accent at heart. You're in in Houston. You're in Houston right now? Yeah.
Yes, sir. I'm in Houston right now. Yes.
Okay, wonderful. And see, and Morella, we also spoke. See, I get to speak Southern to both of you.
It's always nice to meet a fellow Southerner.
Exactly. And Morella, where are you right now?
I'm in Columbus, Ohio.
You're in Columbus, Ohio. So we really have people from all over the world. So just quickly, I mean, we'll go one by one. Just a question is, what made you interested in taking part in this competition this year? Ochir-san, would you tell us?
Yeah, I am very excited, and today I am gonna sing aria Ilitsky from opera Apikoy Dama Tchaikovsky, and I have more than friends in and world, more than too many singers I am introducing, and I am so excited. Thank you, Premier Opera Foundation, and good luck all participants.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, Ricardo. Thank you, Ricardo. Why did you join the competition this year virtually?
Well, first of all, just hearing y'all talk about the panel and whatnot, and the people that would be viewing our videos, and specifically for this virtual edition of the competition made me really excited, because it kind of gives the virtual singers a fair shake at a honest review of what we're doing and things like that. So that was really one of the big factors that I really wanted to join, especially since here in the United States we usually tend to kind of, when we sing for American opera houses, which is totally fine too, but there's opera in other parts of the world too, which I definitely like to explore, and like to take my first trip to Europe.
You've never been to Europe?
No, sir, I've never been to Europe, so I'm trying.
But you told me you're a military brat, right?
No.
Never met.
My dad was in the military, but he was what's it called? We've always been in the United States. I've never been overseas. Yeah, but I've never been to Europe, and then So just trying to make my way over there, one audition at a time. So this is one of those. This is one of those times.
Panel. Listen up, panel. Wow, and Kali, you made your way over to Europe, obviously.
Yes.
So
I'm very, very
what
glad
brought you to this? Yeah, exactly. So what? Yeah.
I agree. Definitely the jury. It was very exciting, and it felt like a way to do like 15 auditions in one, especially during COVID, when a lot of us, the last 2 years, when I was singing at the Opera House, we didn't really have an audience, or we were closed. And so it's a really nice opportunity to actually be heard without the travel component so much. But yeah.
Well, it's wonderful. And Morella, what was your driving factor to join us?
I think the flexibility of being able to either be live or virtual was really intriguing, because you could compete virtually while still being on a contract somewhere. I have a couple concerts and things coming up, and then it allowed me the opportunity to still compete and sing for an incredibly esteemed panel, without having to take time off from contracts to travel. So.
Which is wonderful. Which actually, Eric, can also say this. There are some people that are actually doing both, that applied for the virtual and for the live, because they wanted to be heard by everybody on both panels, right?
Yes, absolutely. There's a few.
So what do you say we listen to you guys sing? Sound good?
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Sounds good. So
thank you guys very much.
Thank you so much. It was great to meet you briefly.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Now we get to
Appreciate
listen
it.
to you.
Thank you so much.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
See you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you.
You can all there you go. Just disconnect there. Wonderful. Fabulous. So Eric, shall we start some singing?
Yes, please. I'm looking forward to it.
Okie doke. So we're going to start with Ochir Sakana Erdene from Mongolia, singing Yeletsky's aria. As you all have the program, you'll be able to see that. And so away we go with some good singing. Here we go. And Eric, you and I are going to turn off and mute. Wow, that's very beautiful. Next, we're going to hear Ricardo Garcia singing Romeo's aria from Romeo and Juliet, À lève-toi soleil. Let's go ahead and skip quickly to Kali Hardwick. We're going to skip to the third singer so I can take care of whatever that particular issue that I've just seen is. And she's going to be singing O luce di quest'anima from Linda di Chamonix by Donizetti. Okay? Okay, so now we are going to return to Ricardo Garcia singing Romeo from Gounod Romeo Juliet and Ah, lève-toi soleil. Here we go. Well, thank you very much, Ricardo. And now we'll finish this group with Morella Parton singing I Want Magic from A Streetcar Named Desire by Andre Previn.
My name is Morella Parton, and I would like to sing I Want Magic from Andre Previn's A Streetcar Named Desire.
Don't turn on that light. It'll all look so ugly in that light. Why not sing by candlelight? Moonlight, starlight, they are bright enough to say sometimes
Wow, thank you very much, Morella.
Beautiful, beautiful singing all around, really.
Yeah, exactly. We're off to a great start.
Absolutely, absolutely, David. Before we move on, I just wanted to mention that everyone, to keep track at home of you'll be able to vote at the end for the audience choice. And with that, we'll bestow a cash award to the winner. So it's very important, that you listen to all these singers, keep your notes, and then, you go in the details of the YouTube description, you'll see the link for the audience prize, where you could just then click and you'll choose your favorite person. So that's very important to keep in mind.
And also, if I can add that also in the description, you'll also find another link which helps us do this every year, which is the link when you are moved by this and by these young artists and how they're developing and the music that they're making. There's a link to donate to the foundation also, because this is a foundation that is funded by donations and by the actions of our projects. So please help us to help them. Any little bit counts. I feel like
Yes,
Jerry
absolutely.
Lewis now, but
PBS special. But
exactly.
so the audience prize is premieroperafoundation.org/audience-prize, and for donation, premieroperafoundation.org/donate. But again, they're in the details there as well.
Exactly. Now we have another jury member joining us briefly. We are very honored and very happy that we have Beatrice Benzi from the Teatro alla Scala in Milano, who's going to join us. I'm going to admit her in here, who is really one of the top coaches and lovers of helping young artists in the entire world. So,
ciao, Beatrice.
ciao,
Hi.
Bea.
Ciao. How are you?
Very
Good, good.
We're both in Italy, so that
Yes.
must make Eric feel bad.
Yeah. 2 Italians and 1 American.
But I'm more Italian than David.
Yes.
Even though he lives in Italy.
Well, the surname is Maggiore, so very much Italian. Good.
No, Beatrice, and we've been so lucky to have you as part of the Vocal Competition and Foundation, and also the Vocal Arts Institute. And I've had the pleasure, to watch you work with artists, and it really is a tremendous pleasure. And the little nuance and detail that you work on with the artist. Can you just explain a bit? I mean, what do you really try to impart to the singer that you're working on, to help them?
Well, the most, many things are important, as Gerald said before. It's not only one thing, but precision is a very important characteristic in this work, because if they are precise, they reach many goals. Everything is written on the scores. So if they learn to read precisely what the author writes, all the details, the little commas, where to breathe, where it's not good to breathe, the correct pronunciation, the correct dynamics, when it's forte, when it's piano, and where the accents and the rhythm. I mean, if you realize, if you take you are conscious that those things are important, and you put them all in your performance, then you really build a character. And it's all written. That's what I'm really insisting with all my students, both, foreigners, but also here in Italy at the Accademia. Precision is music, so it makes the music.
Yeah, and those little nuances put together make a great artist. I mean, are there things that you think Italian singers do differently than other singers around the world? Have you noticed anything? Or is there something that really great singers that sing at La Scala, they do that you're like, wow, that's a trait that they have to get them to this point?
Well, Italian singers have the advantage that they speak the language, so they know what they are saying from the very beginning. They don't need to work on that. Right. But foreigners, of course, they need to practice. They need to know what they are saying. They need to know the correct pronunciation of what they are saying. So it's something more difficult for them. But, once they get that, because I think it's very important to study the language that they are singing, of course. This helps a lot, of course, in their careers. And that's why foreign singers here that speak Italian well start from a higher level, because the language is really important. It's very much connected with the music. Of course, the same thing when we speak. It's the same when we speak about French repertoire and German repertoire. So Italian singers, they start knowing what they are saying. So it's easier from that point of view. Then they have a lot of difficulties, of course, too, about technique, about interpretation. Everyone have their difficulties. But it's
Right.
important to have a goal and to try to reach that goal every day and study. This is really a difficult job for them.
Yes.
I have a question. Do you mind if I pop in with a question? Bea,
Please.
because you've been at La Scala for some time, and you've worked with the academia, you've also worked with honestly, with many of the greatest artists of our time and many of the greatest conductors of our time. As simple as that. It's La Scala. It doesn't get bigger than La Scala, better than La Scala. Do you, when you hear these artists, younger artists, as they're coming up, and when they're auditioning for your program with Delora in Reno, or for the academia, or where the other programs where you teach, like Provi, where you also teach, can you recognize already those that somehow you know that these are ones that are meant for the stage, that are going to hit the level of La Scala? Can you sense that already at some point somehow?
But it depends on the cases. Sometimes it's difficult to tell, because you start with working with a person that you would say there's no hope in the beginning, and then you find that suddenly something changes. Sometimes it's just a matter of they must understand that little tiny thing, and once they understand, they make the jump, and they completely change. And so you are surprised because you thought they wouldn't be fit for the stage, and then you find that no, you were wrong. And sometimes you can say from the beginning, sometimes I can guess from the beginning that here there is a potential, there is a career coming, of course, but it depends. I would never say that someone is hopeless, because sometimes I've been surprised myself too.
That's inspirational. That's good to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. I never say, no, she can't do, no, he can't do, because I'm used to surprises sometimes.
And not everybody sings in La Scala. Honestly, not everybody has a career at La Scala. There's a lot of opera in the world.
Yes, of course. Yes, sometimes there are singers that never sing at La Scala, but they have a big career. So it's not the only theater here. I mean, and also it depends on the artistic directions. Sometimes there are people that with an artistic direction sing here, and with another one they don't come. Things change, and so it might be different for young students too. Now with the previous intendant, we had the young students of the academia often singing on the stage of La Scala. With this intendant, they come less, because he tends to separate the academia from the theater. His idea is to have school and the theater on another side. For Pereira, it was an opera studio, so they could be, the little roles in the various operas. So it depends on the artistic direction and what they think. But in general, studying at the Academia of La Scala gives the possibility to sing on stage, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Just one last question, Bea. What advice would you give for an emerging singer? Say they have that small role at La Scala, or they're covering, and they are working then with like one of the best conductors in the world. How to navigate that relationship between singer and conductor at an early stage in the career?
Well, my suggestion is always listen what the conductor wants and try in every way possible to satisfy his questions and what he wants. To try to satisfy what he wants, because it's not good for a young singer to question what a conductor wants. Conductors are very demanding, and even if a student doesn't agree, but
especially Italian conductors.
Exactly. So it's, at an early age, it's not good to decide to agree or not agree. You just must do what they ask. And follow the suggestions, and this is the first thing to learn as a student. And then later, when you're a famous singer, you can always say, oh, I would prefer to do in another way. But at the beginning...
But best not on an open stage in front of the orchestra.
Yes.
Best after the rehearsal. quietly
in private.
in private, one-on-one.
Yes,
Exactly.
exactly.
Well, listen, Bea, first we have to say it's such a joy and such an honor that you take your time each year to judge and be on the jury of our competition. And thank you for that. I think it's something that literally is beyond value for those that take part, to know that they are having your ears open to them. So thank you for that. And thank you for spending your evening watching your stream with us.
I'm honored, and thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much. And now we're going to bring actually the next three singers on. So Bea, you've got to sign off so you can get ready to hear them.
Okay,
and
yes.
Thank you, Beatrice.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bea. Thank you very much. And next we're going to bring on Joel Baltzon, Hyun Ju Moon, and Andrew Morstein. I have to ask here because
hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Morstein or Morstein, Andrew?
Morstein's great. Thank you.
Morstein, great. There we go. Eric?
Yes, it's so exciting to have you guys on. Thank you so much, and for just being part of this, and for singing great and being great artists. I wanted to ask you. We'll just go around. Maybe you could just give announce yourself, and then I want you to kind of talk about what this kind of virtual age has taught you. We've been now kind of 2 years, give or take, in this pandemic, and having to try to navigate between virtual and live. And what were things maybe you've learned in this process that you could take with you going forward, and or how you kept yourself in shape vocally when it might have been easier just to be like, okay, I don't see the business is kind of in a slow status. How do I keep moving forward? So please, I'd love to hear from you guys. And Andrew, why don't you start with that if you don't mind?
Certainly. And first of all, I want to say that I ate plenty of chips and stayed in good vocal shape, I think. So both things are possible.
Bravo.
And thank you all very much for having this. I would say this is a great example of something that has been a benefit from the past 2 years, which have been really, really hard on this business. And I think particularly hard, I would say, on young singers in this business, that I think my colleagues and fellow singers in this competition and across the globe would agree. The other benefit to that is that I'm in Vienna. I had 2 rehearsals today for something, and now I'm in a competition live stream that's based in New York. And that's an amazing thing. And the ability to connect with people such as yourselves, and with a panel that's based globally, that's a huge benefit. And in terms of staying in shape, I've been lucky in that I've had some work, and I've been able to work on it on stage and work it out. But being human and trying to just get better every day, and having grace with myself, I would say that's been my biggest lesson. So, and thanks again, and looking forward to this.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That makes sense, and those are important points. I've heard some of the social media. I know there's some tenor things going around where you do like clips of certain arias, and then hashtag it. So that's kind of cool too, to kind of stay connected with other tenors and other singers that way. So I've noticed you've done a couple of those, which is nice.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many more tenor things we need. Everybody's probably sick of the tenors, but I was really happy to be part of it and connect with them. It's been an honor, and yes. So thank you for saying so. It's been great.
Great, absolutely. Joel, how are you?
I'm hanging in there. How are you?
Good. Yeah, I mean, what would you say about that? Just kind of this period, or things you've been working on. I know that you're not only performing, but you're also doing some teaching and things like that. So please.
Composer too, yeah.
Yeah, the teaching has definitely been the biggest thing that's kept me somewhat vocally in shape. Those when you reach a certain threshold of how much you teach, there's a point where then the teaching becomes a little bit damaging to your voice as opposed to beneficial to your voice. Just from how you're instinctively saving your voice through the day, for better or for worse. So that was something that I had to be careful of when, I was still teaching through this whole lockdown period. And I was teaching on Zoom and like hunched over at my piano. And so that definitely, I had to be very aware and intentional with how I was taking care of myself vocally. But what I think was kind of what I enjoyed was that since there wasn't as much going on, I was like, okay, well, this is the time to explore some new rep that I've like wanted to try, that I like don't know if I should try, but this is like kind of a safe time to do so because no one's going to hear it if it sucks. And so, that was to me one of the best parts of all of this, is that like I finally got to check off some bucket list arias and stuff like that. And then, being able to do these competitions virtually or have the option to do them virtually, I think is huge. Andrew hit the nail on the head because he's making a killing in Vienna. I'm so proud of you. And, he's able to do this thing that's based in New York. And like, I'm not quite as far as Vienna from New York, but I'm still on the other side of the country and was unable to get to the live auditions for scheduling reasons for this competition. So it was great to be able to still have an option to participate without fear of like, I guess like, are they going to still take my application seriously even though I'm online? I really I had no doubts or qualms about that in my mind. And there's other times where there's a virtual component to a competition or audition. I'm like, well, I'll submit virtual because I can't make it to this first live round, but I don't know. They might just rush over and collect my money. So, I was grateful. Like I knew coming into this that like my virtual submission would be taken just as seriously as the live submissions that the live auditions you're going to hear next week. So
yeah,
absolutely.
No, that's true. Thank you, Joel. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, Hyunju, how are you?
Yes, hello. I'm fine. I'm also in Vienna.
Oh.
And first of all, I'd like to say it is an honor to be part of this competition. And I always have been following these competitions. I'm glad that singers like us have an opportunity to participate virtually, especially in this COVID situation. And since 2 years for everyone, it was super hard. And especially for us in Vienna, it was super strict. And still, Vienna holds lockdown. So
it's back to lockdown now, isn't it?
Yeah,
both of you are under lockdown now.
Yeah, it's very strict. So I learned how to be participants through this situation, and how to exercise and work out and study more roles with the professors and try to stay positive. I think that is the most important for us, everyone. The positive thinking.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. That's true.
Yes.
I've just noticed something here I have to bring up. So wait, we actually, now it might be not perfect for all, but we kind of have a Rigoletto cast here now, don't we?
Oh gosh.
Oh, yeah.
I'm set. Yeah.
There you go.
So I'm thinking, I'm not going to ask.
10 years. Give me 10 years.
Oh, you're closer than that, Joel.
It's a virtual world. Anything can happen. Stick a microphone. Carrera sing Aida. It's okay.
No, this would be a great Rigoletto cast. Absolutely.
I'm saying that. That's going to be our future thing. You've got me thinking
Done.
about projects. Okay, Eric, we're going to do the Premier Opera Foundation virtual Rigoletto, and we've got our cast here.
Sounds good.
I'll do the Monterone.
Okay, okay, nice.
So look, break a leg, you guys. We're going to jump to the singing now. And thank you for joining us to get to know you a little bit. Good luck over there in Vienna that you get out of your apartments before Christmas this time. And thank you for joining us here a little bit.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes.
Thanks.
Really
Thank
a
you so
joy.
much.
Really beautiful.
Stay healthy and safe, everybody.
Yeah.
Stay healthy.
Absolutely. You guys as well. Cheers. Bye-bye. Wow, it's really nice getting
It's so nice.
to
Yeah,
meet
it
them,
really
and
is.
from all over the world. Everybody kind of going through the same process, the same story.
Yeah, no, and you're right. Like to see the personality of the singer. It's not just you get up there and sing on the stage, and sometimes the audience really doesn't get to know the personality of the singer. And so that's what something like this is cool, because you get to talk to the singer, and or social media interactions, which makes it more accessible that way, which is nice.
It's true. It is absolutely true. So listen, for this group, we're going to hear Joel is going to sing. We actually have our two Strauss pieces back to back. Joel is going to sing Mandrika from Arabella, which is Sie gibt mir keinen Blick, which is a bit of a tour de force piece, role. And then Hyunju is going to sing Sophie's Presentation of the Rose from Der Rosenkavalier. And then we're going to finish up this group with Andrew singing the aria from Contori by Rossini. So a little bit of a jump from Garmisch-Partenkirchen down to Italy. So so let's jump to the singing, and then we'll see you guys back after that. Okay? Fabulous. First. Here we go. Go. Wonderful, wonderful. And next we're going to have Hyunju Moon singing the Presentation of the Rose, Sophie's aria. Well, it's a duet actually, but Sophie's part from Der Rosenkavalier.
Guten Tag, mein Name ist Hyunju Moon. Ich komme aus Südkorea. Ich werde die Arie von Sophie aus Der Rosenkavalier singen.
Ich bin
Wow, that was wonderful. And next we have Andrew singing the Count's aria from Contori, Que le destin prospère by Rossini.
La paix du ciel, mes frères, soit toujours avec vous. Oui. Que les destins prospèrent, accueille à vos la paix du ciel, mes frères, soit toujours, toujours avec vous. Vous demoiselles, dans vos criez, venez à moi, mes belles, obligez, récidons, j'accorde les familles, j'accorde les familles, et même aux jeunes filles, j'étonne des époux, et même aux jeunes filles, j'étonne des époux. Oui, venez tous, venez, venez. Que les destins prospèrent, accueille vos prières. La paix du ciel, mes frères, soit toujours, toujours avec vous. Venez à moi, mes belles, dans vos peines cruelles, venez à moi, mes belles, je donne des taisez pas, venez à moi, mes belles, je donne, taisez pas, venez, je donne, oui, taisez pas, venez, je donne, oui, taisez pas, oui, taisez pas, je donne, taisez pas.
Wow. Again, a great group. Thank you,
Absolutely.
all of you. Really, quite a wonderful group.
Lots of high notes there, eh?
Yeah, but such a difference there from the Mandrika, the Sophie, and then the Rossini. But I'm telling you, we still have a Rigoletto cast there. I'm going to start filling it out. We need to.
Absolutely.
We need to find a house. Find us a theater for it.
And just to remind everyone, David, real quick, our audience prize, if you go into the YouTube and look at the description, you'll be able to vote for your audience favorite. So you'll be hearing these singers, and it'll be very exciting. So we're already, we'll be tabulating and getting that info, and so it'll be wonderful to figure out who that is.
But I have a question. How can people already vote for the audience prize when we're not even quite halfway through the evening? I think Mom and the cousins are voting.
I mean, look, that can happen. That can happen.
But you can only vote one time, right?
You can only vote one time from one email address. I mean, you can make 100 different email addresses and I guess vote 100 times, but I don't think there's anyone really doing that.
Teaching fraud right here on the internet. I'm telling you.
Oh boy.
All right. Well, look, we have a couple other of our jury members with us now. We have Thomas Kadenbach and Brian Speck, respectively, from look at those instruments. How beautiful is that? Thomas is based in Dresden, where you're also on quite a lockdown. And Brian is coming from Houston right now, very far away. The different weather for sure. Thanks for joining us.
Nice to see you all.
Nice to see you guys. So what I find interesting, and I wanted to bring you guys on together, is because you both run a young artist program at a major theater, one in Europe and one in America. Arguably, Houston has been for many years and maintains, and for sure into the future, is one of the major young artist programs in the world, with a very long list of famous people that have come out of it. Dresden is a bit of a fairly newer, not that much newer at this point, but certainly one of the most respected high-level historical theaters in Germany, in Europe. And I wanted to know, would you each discuss the difference? This is what I find fascinating, is what would you say are the differences between a young artist program in America at a major house and in Europe at a major house, as to how you train or what you train the artists for, how you seek and what you seek in the artists, and most importantly, what you build for them and hope for them as they leave your program? Maybe it's easier to speak to how you do it in your own program, and then maybe you discuss how they're different once we hear that. But maybe Brian, would you start?
Sure. Yeah, I would say the approach for me is looking for young singers who are at a really good jumping off point, are showing a lot of momentum and a real ability to take on information so that we can immerse them in the professional environment at HGO, and they can just sort of take away lessons every day from what they experience being a part of the opera company. So we cast the young artists pretty extensively in our productions, in everything from bit roles to leading roles. So they all have a variety of assignments through the season, but alongside that, we do a lot of training in all aspects of their artistry. Certainly voice lessons are a regular feature of our program, tons and tons of vocal coaching, probably 5 to 10 hours a week of that with our music staff. We do movement and acting, individual language lessons, etc. One of the things we really need to focus on, I think, especially as an American house, is making sure that our artists are getting that language training, because many of our artists come in not fluent in these languages, not having experienced them as a part of their upbringing and needing to do that work to really shore up their language skills. So we focus on that a lot. But I would say the overarching goal that I try to achieve and what I look for is to give them the tools to be able to be the most distinctive, special version of themselves that they can be. They come in with great talent. They come in with great voices and a lot to say. And what I want to do is unlock doors. So if they have something that they could envision as an artist, that they want to sing a phrase a certain way, if they want to be able to move a certain way on stage, I want to provide the training that allows them to unlock that and use those skills to express themselves in a way that's most honest and true for them. So that's what I try to think of in terms of guidance and in terms of what I want to give to them as the program director, is essentially not to tell them what to do, but simply to have the conversation with them that helps them to figure out what they want to do.
That's wonderful. And Thomas, so talk to us a little bit about how the program at Semperoper works. Some similarities or differences, etc.
Yeah, sure. So first of all, hello, Dave. Hi, everyone. It's a great honor for me to be here. I bow before every one of you. I feel privileged to have been made part of this, and this is truly an honor for me. So I would say the most important thing that is maybe special for Semperoper is that since our house premiered a lot of the famous German late Romantic repertoire, namely Wagner and Strauss operas, our opera house and the Staatskapelle Dresden, our orchestra, represent a couple of centuries of very, very important musical history. So we have some certain stylistic elements in terms of how we perform these pieces that we try to keep alive in the tradition of our house. And that's what we try to imprint a little bit on every singer that starts to work in our opera house. Maybe that's a little bit special about Semperoper. But in general, of course, we do a lot of coachings. I invite vocal coaches and teachers and big opera singers to teach master classes for my singers. And then we have a lot of repertoire going on during the whole season, in which our singers from Junges Ensemble start to sing right away. So even parts as big as Erste Dame in Zauberflöte, for example, are cast with Junges Ensemble from the beginning. That's why we are not called a studio. We are really a young ensemble that is carrying a certain amount of the load of the repertoire business that is going on in our opera house every season.
Oh, that's very interesting. And so then once they finish, it's a 2-year program, I assume, yes?
Yes.
Yes. So once they finish, what is I assume agencies and other theaters come to hear them, but is the goal for them to then move into the full ensemble in the house, or is the goal for them that you try to build their skills so that they then move to different theaters or start a freelance career, perhaps?
Yeah, there is a certain amount of permeability between the young ensemble and the real ensemble. At the moment, I think we have 4 former singers of Junges Ensemble in our ensemble. So there is the possibility for a singer in the Junges Ensemble to be offered a contract at Semperoper after their 2-year program. However, it's not something you can expect. So what I try and set them up for is to have, the audition rep ready to go to competitions, meet agents, etc., just to be ready for any opportunity that is out there after the 2-year program.
Very interesting. And then one of the things I know, Brian, I'm going to ask you about here that I know is kind of a cornerstone of the Houston program is that when someone leaves the Houston program, there is a career-long relationship with those that have been in the program, that it's a matter of great pride that the people that graduate the Houston program come back to sing in Houston. Is that also the case in Semperoper, that as someone leaves, you hope to bring them back even if they're not going to stay in the ensemble?
Brian, do you want to go first, or?
See, well, no, I'm asking at the Semperoper if there is in the casting that they consciously think this is one that was in our studio, it would be best to have this one back.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, what we try and do, of course, is to build, the biggest career possible, and then some of our singers, go on and have a huge career right away. So it's nice that we are kind of the cornerstone of all of that. So we have the opportunity to try and bring them back as often as possible, of course. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. And Brian, that was something in the concept of the studio from the beginning in Houston?
I can't speak to the really early years of the studio in terms of what the concept was, but certainly it's for the last, couple of decades, it's been a really important part of the way we look at developing the studio artists and thinking about their future, is also kind of dreaming about what those important opportunities are going to be for them along the way. And when we can, trying to provide those with our company so that we can continue to be a stepping stone as their repertoire develops, as they're ready to present something new, that sometimes Houston can be a place for them to do that for the first time. And to envision what that long career looks like with them along the way while they're in the studio, and think about it so that we have sort of a framework for how the future might look. That's
fantastic. And also I think, it's interesting maybe from the audience or, the people who regularly go to the opera, they could see kind of that progression of the artist, and that could be exciting for them, to see the development and where they're gonna head and go.
Yeah, that is something that happens often in Dresden as well. Sorry for interrupting there, because we have an audience that comes, for decades to our opera house and is very, very, very faithful, and they accompany careers while going to the opera for these many years, and they really follow that closely in Dresden. Sorry for getting in there.
No, that's wonderful. Well, listen, for us, I have to say again, thank you for taking your time over this past period, because you've listened to a lot of singers and to get to these finalists. And thank you for taking time out of your Saturdays. Sometimes it's your Saturday early afternoon or your Saturday evening to listen to the finals. It really matters a great deal, I think, to these singers, to know that you guys are out there listening with hopeful ears and open ears to hear, like what you said, Brian, I think is really important, to hear what makes them unique, what they have to say that is theirs alone, which I think, speaking for myself as an audience member, when I go to the theater or when I hear auditions, even in my life, what moves me is when someone shows me a bit of themselves. And that's the most beautiful thing, is to help them find who that self is to present to the world, I think. And you guys are at the first line of that, and thank you for the work and the care that you take and do.
Pleasure.
Thank you. So now you guys have to sign off because you have to go finish doing your job. And
thank you, gentlemen.
The next meet the next four singers here. Let me see here. I'm going to let them in. And hello.
Hi.
Hi there. So we have Tamara Banjasevich.
Perfect.
Did I do it? See, there you go.
Amazing.
From Serbia, we have Jonas, and what's funny, I'm sorry, I have to do it in this order. We have Tamara Banjasevich from Serbia and Franko Klisovic from Croatia, so practically neighbors, but in different parts of the world now. We have Jonas Yud, who is the other part of our yin and yang. Earlier, I don't know if you were watching, Jonas, but earlier we had a wonderful American singer who is studying and working and living in Switzerland, and now you are a Swiss singer that is studying in America.
Yes,
so
good afternoon.
Completed it. Good afternoon. And Jadine Graham, who is where, and you are in Michigan right now, right?
Right now, yes.
Oh, that's wonderful. So we're really covering the world here at the moment. So the question that I have for you guys is, the opera world is obviously changing, and here you guys are basically all young, starting the careers for this. And the world is a big place where now you've just heard that the United States and Europe, they have different approaches, but somehow still looking for uniqueness of personality. And so the question I have is, I would love to know something that you feel is unique to what you give. You as an artist, what is it that you have that is unique to you? Not that somebody's told you do well. Do you understand what I mean? Something that you know inside is yours and that you've got. So, sorry, it's a little bit of a shrink moment. I suppose you can lay down on the couch if you want before you tell us.
Don't be
but
bashful.
I think it would be, don't be, well, it's just interesting to know people's journeys. So, I mean, Tamara, would you mind beginning for us? Because also I have to say, forgive me, I just have to say, I mean, that you actually have the difficult time this week, because do you mind would you share what's happened to you? Because they're about to see.
Yeah, of course. I was just about to say I might lie down because I broke my ankle a few weeks ago during during a rehearsal on stage. It was a stage accident. It was really scary and horrible. But fortunately, I was able to continue with the production, and now I have a super mega amazing wheelchair. So yeah,
on stage.
On stage.
Wow,
that's amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool. And the booth has been a little bit difficult to live with, but I've managed. And you'll see
so
that.
Tell us exactly. So tell us about you now. Tell us something about you.
Well, what's unique about me is that I'm from Serbia. I've been living and studying in Germany since I was 19 years old, and I've been living in America for a while in New York and studying there at Juilliard. And I am a little bit edgy. I think what I give as a performer, as an artist, is that edginess that I think I'm kind of cool. So if I may say so.
Good for you.
Well, absolutely. You just did.
Yeah. So this kind of, I don't know, laid back attitude, a little bit of rock and roll, a little bit of tattoos and crazy hair and leather. So yeah, a little bit alternative, but also very classical.
Well, that sounds fantastic. So, well, thank you for that. Now, Jonas, tell us something about you. What is your unique thing that you know you always have?
I think I have a couple cultures I can bring with me. I've grown up in Switzerland. I lived in Italy. I studied in Italy for my bachelor's. I'm now living in the United States, which is another culture as well. And I think I can bring the journey that God gave me in my life to the music and communicate to the people in the different languages I've learned on the way, and give my voice and communicate with that.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's very beautiful. Thank you for that. Franco, tell us. So I know, but I want to hear you. I know because but
I don't know. Please tell me.
No, but so what's burning inside you that's unique?
Well, I don't like to speak about myself, but if I have to, I think it's character. It's stage presence when I sing, and at the end, it's a specific voice. Countertenor is rare, so
yeah.
No,
and that's interesting because I will say, for those that don't know, Franco won the audience prize last year. So clearly, some of the audience members could
the third prize.
Feel that. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Could feel that sense that you're talking about.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was a really good experience. Yeah.
Wonderful.
I enjoyed it.
Wonderful. Now, Jadine, tell us about you. Tell us your.
Well, I'm originally from Mississippi. And one thing that I bring to the table is my authenticity and my ability to be able to communicate regardless of the barriers. That's what one of the things that I strive to do. And one of the things that also being from Mississippi, opera is not a hugely art form there. So being able to take my culture, my friends and family on that journey, and being able to communicate in a way that they're able to understand, so they can understand and be able to enjoy the art form as well.
That's
Have
great.
you brought them along? Have you brought them along?
I have to some things, yes.
No, but so they're up to speed. I also see, because I think, like when we spoke, I'm from Texas, so I also grew up not in a strongly opera family or culture, but I brought I brought a lot of my friends and family along. Some of them have stayed with me. Some of them have said, no, it's not for me. But have you found that some people have been exposed to opera through you and have found it to be something that they become in love with over time?
Yes, I have. I have actually. My mom, she always, brags about me. And she was like, I have this opera singer. And she was like, at first I didn't know what she says, what she's saying, but there's stuff in English.
Oh, that's so nice.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
That's cute. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, listen, all of you, thank you for joining us for a little bit here, just to get to see you, because we're now about to get to hear you. So
Thank you.
break a leg.
Thank you all very much.
Please no.
Wait, hold
Please
on.
don't.
No, break a leg. You
Please
already did
don't
that.
break a leg.
Somebody, exactly. You got a good point.
We'll
So
say heal
we're
a
gonna
leg, heal a leg.
heal a leg, exactly. So thank you guys so much, and we're gonna listen to you sing now, and have a wonderful rest of the evening watching your colleagues. Okay.
Thank
Cheers.
you. Bye.
Thank
Oh.
you. Thank you very much.
Bye. Bye. Wonderful.
No, all those stories are great, really. I mean,
It's really amazing. I have to say, the one thing that gets me is, once again, this process covers the globe. We have singers, literally, you're looking at people that are all around the world from each other, two people that grew up in countries that touch each other, yet they're separated now, yet all with the same goals, the same passion, the same desires. And it's really beautiful. It's one of my favorite things I love about the virtual part of this competition. I think last year we had people from, oh my gosh, it was almost 50 nations again last year as well, because it was virtual, and that everybody
all
can
virtual,
come together online. So,
I mean, it's amazing to see what opera can do, like bring people together in that way, bring people who are pursuing a career, but then audiences discovering new people, discovering new interpretations. I mean, that's what makes it a great art form,
It's true. And I think that also backstage at theaters, you see in any production, as you see productions and as you work through them, I mean, you know this better than anyone because you are a professional opera singer. You meet the same people all around the world. You go to a different opera house in a different country, and there's friends that you have, that you form these friendships that you meet up every now and then in different productions in different theaters in different parts of the world. And it's really a beautiful
Yeah,
thing.
absolutely. Well, and you have to you usually become friends very quick, because, for instance, like, I don't know, rehearsing, Act 1 of Bohème, you're instantly then friends with those, 3 or 4 other guys. And or, the first scene, you also have to interact very intimately with Mimi. So, you become instant friends and, understand each other for the most part, which is exciting.
Absolutely. And you all agree to hate Benoit in that first act as well. So that's all great too. So shall we jump to the singing? Okie doke. So we're going to start with Jonas Jud from Switzerland singing Fiesco. So let's get to there. This is Il Lacerato Spirito from Simon Boccanegra by Verdi.
freddo sepolcro dell'angelo mio, ne a proteggerlo valsi. O maledetto, o vile seduttore, e tu, vergin, soffristi, rapita lei la virginal corona. Oh, che dissi deliro! Oh, mi il lacerato spirito del mesto genitore era serbato a strazio d'infamia e di dolore. Il serto a lei dei martiri, pietoso il cielo diè, resa al fulgor degli angeli, prega Maria per me. Resa al fulgor degli angeli, prega Maria per me. Prega per me. Prega per me. Prega Maria
Wow. Bravo. To think actually Jonas is 24 years old. So probably a bright future coming from him. Next, we're going to have Franko Klisovic, our only countertenor this year. Last year we had two. This year we have just Franco, who's going to sing, actually, he's going to sing Mozart. He's going to sing Mitridate, Venga pur minacci e frema, from Mitridate re di Ponto, di Ponto, by Mozart. So here is Franko Klisovic. Wow, quite an aria. Next, we jump to Wagner, to Weiche Wotan Weiche, which is Erde's aria in Das Rheingold von Wagner with Jadine Graham. Wonderful. And to finish out this group, we have Tamara Banjasevich singing Fiordeligi's aria from Così fan tutte, Come scoglio.
Temerare, sortite fuori di questo loco, e non profani l'alito infausto degli
Wow. So if we can't, if she suffers for her art with the boot, if there was doubt, the truth of art, the truth.
And seated, yes, the entire time.
Exactly, and seated, exactly. See, Regie Theater. So
that was great. That was great, David. Absolutely.
That was a great group. Good job this year.
Absolutely. And to that point, just a reminder, to vote for your audience favorite. It's in the details of the YouTube description, as well as just to remind you that Premier Opera Foundation is a 501c3 charitable organization, and I think it's interesting that, and it's exciting that we've remained a beacon of hope and support for artists during this period. Last year, as David, you and I were discussing last year, normally it was always live in the first couple of years, and then last year, because of the pandemic, we went all virtual, and now this year is kind of this hybrid where it could be virtual or live. So I think it's exciting that we kind of create with the time and we keep moving forward, and we continue to host the competition and have these training initiatives at the same international level as before. And it's exciting. To date, we've given away what is valued at over $135,000 in cash prizes and special awards. So that's exciting. And you'll see, if you look back at the past winners that we've had, many of them are continuing to emerge and develop and have gone on to do some really, really good things internationally. And I know we're gonna, as a special guest, bring on one of our winners from last year, and I'll let you introduce him, David.
Exactly. So one of the most important thing that we do with this competition, and why we need your help to continue it, is we try to provide opportunities to be discovered for artists from all over the world that maybe we don't know. And if I could just tell you a story from last year, we were amazed at our first virtual competition. What's it going to be? The world, looked drab at sometimes when thinking about opera. And as we were listening to the recordings, one particular recording stuck out. And it was funny because I talked with my wife, who heard the recording. I heard the recording and then listened to it again and again and again. And then I talked to Eric, and I spoke with many members of the jury. And one particular performance kept coming back up, even at the qualifying round, at the very beginning. And it felt very much like somebody singing a bit of hope into us. And we were very honored, honestly, that throughout the competition, in the end, he indeed was one of our winners, a countertenor who had not really done a lot. And we are very honored and happy that when I contacted him and asked him if he would join us, we are very happy to introduce you. If you haven't heard him already, you've got to go on the YouTube and listen to Kimon Murat, who is joining us today, right before he's going to a concert. So I hope we're not, killing his time here. But Kimon won the male first prize last year and has done many wonderful things since. But more than anything, he makes me love listening to him sing. So, Kimon.
Hi, Kimon. How are you?
Much. Hi, Kimon.
Hi.
Thank you so much for doing this. We hear you perfect. You're on your way to a concert?
Yeah, I'm going to Kentucky Baroque Chorus, and they're doing a concert tomorrow. So I'm singing Mary Had a Baby by William Dawson.
Oh, how beautiful is that? So tell us, since last year it was you on the end of the video, right?
Yeah.
Singing Ombra Mai Fu from Semele from Xerxes by Handel. And it did you well, it seems. It's because you won our first prize for male. But then would you just tell us what's happened over the past year? Because I know what's happened, but I just want to hear you tell us, how are things going?
Yeah, some really exciting things happened over the year. So one of the most recent things is I was a finalist in Opera Elia. And I got the Encouragement Award, which was really fun to work with everybody and to see Placido Domingo and work under him. That was really a great experience. And before that, I was at Aspen and doing Rodelinda, singing Bellatorito, and Yaritza. The female winner of last year was my Rodelinda.
Exactly.
So
That was pretty amazing, and obviously that was not planned in any way. Of course, it could not have been, and that's just so fantastic.
Yeah, it was amazing. So
and that was with Renee Fleming, was it?
Yeah, Renee Fleming and Patrick Summers. They are the co-directors of the program.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Yeah, it was fabulous to work with Renee. She was one of the people that inspired me to even sing opera. So to finally get to work with her, my idol, it was like a dream come true.
Amazing.
And Patrick Summers has been so great to me. Just making sure that I get out there, give me all the support and networking that I need. Yeah, he's been great.
This is wonderful. So basically from when, you hadn't actually been singing that long. When you and I spoke at the beginning, you were kind of new at singing because you worked at Glimmerglass, was it? But in administration.
Yeah. So I'll say officially decided to have a career in 2018, and that's also when I transitioned to countertenor. But before that, I thought, okay, it wasn't working out for me. Maybe I should do the arts administration route. I love that. That's always something that I wanted to do.
So, what were you singing, tenor or baritone?
Tenor.
Okay.
So before that, I was working at Glimmerglass in development, and that's where I met John Holiday, and he was singing Xerxes. I know, full circle.
Of Holiday Spain.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we became kind of friends, and he encouraged me to try it. So after that, I just decided, okay, I really want to do this, and I just learned as much music as I could, got in some programs, and here I am.
Amazing.
It's amazing. It's really wonderful, and I have to say.
And you got management after the competition, or was it before? The last year?
It was after the competition. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he probably heard you on the live stream. Your current agent, I'm sure.
Well, this is wonderful, and you have contracts coming up. We're gonna see you on stages, right?
Yeah. In 2 weeks, I'll be headed to Seattle to sing Orfeo.
In Gluck Orfeo, that's going to be beautiful. Yeah, that'll be beautiful.
And then after, I'm really excited for that. It's I get to work a role that I've been singing forever, but actually finally get to sing the role. And I'm going to be going to San Diego right after singing San Diego Opera, getting tongue-tied, doing a new opera, Frida in Diego. And then after that, I'll be back at American Baroque Opera Company doing Hyacinthus and Apollo.
Oh, that's wonderful. We need to get you over here in Europe. That's what we need to do. So all the Europeans that are out there listening, all the Europeans out there listening, Kima needs to fly over the ocean. I'm just saying that there. And I have to say, for me, it's particularly amazing when you and Yaritza, who, just to repeat what you said, that you got to Aspen this summer to do the Handel opera, and your partner on stage was Yaritza Velis, who was the female first prize winner last year of the competition. So without any planning, both of the first prize winners were actually sharing a stage together in Renee Fleming and Patrick Summers' program in Aspen.
It really is.
And you sent me a picture. You sent me a selfie, the two of you. I had no idea.
We posted it on social media. We posted it on the Premiere Instagram, David.
So it was really, it's beautiful. So beautiful artists, and honestly, Keeman, it's really an honor to have helped you take some first steps, and there will be many more steps. But just know that it was an honor for us to help you take some of those first steps, and it's really been a joy to watch everything that's coming and to see everything coming in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Keeman.
Thank you. You all have just been a blessing to me in my whole career, and I'm just so grateful and blessed just to get to meet you all and just to be a part of your program and competition.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Keeman. We really
so
appreciate
much.
it. And toi 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 on all the upcoming performances.
Exactly. Thank you for agreeing to be here. Enjoy your rehearsal. Break a leg. Well, not like Tamara, but break a leg in your concert tomorrow. And we look forward to hearing more wonderful things always. And we're going to hear our last four singers, and then see everybody again next week for the live finals. So Keeman, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you all.
Cheers. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Well, keeping tabs on and maintaining relationships with the winners, and even some the singers who weren't winners, if they write us and have questions or whatever, I think that's important to maintain, like, the relationship of some of the contestants that need it and want it.
Absolutely. And I think that it's important because many people don't understand that at that beginning stage, when an artist is just introducing themselves, many people will do a competition just to see what response they get, to see if maybe they're ready or not. And some people will do a competition to be heard by the panel, like we heard, or some people do it, of course, thinking that that they need the money. But what's fascinating is for those of us on this side of the competition is to come in contact with these artists, sometimes for the first time or sometimes after multiple times, to see how they develop and to continue the relationship of watching them develop onto the stage and watch careers blossom. And those careers can happen on many different stages. I remember one time a teacher of mine, Joan Dornaman, the very famous Joan Dornaman, said that there are many kinds of singers in the world, and a singer is a singer. Some sing at La Scala, but some also sing in regional opera houses, or some sing in choruses or church choirs, and some sing at home, but a singer in their soul is a singer. And that's the thing that's most interesting to us, and what we do with the foundation to try to help find those singers and help them on their path to find their goal via these competitions and the programs, the educational programs. And that's, again, why we need support. Before we actually have the next 3 of 4 singers that are waiting that we can bring on, because one of our other singers, one of the last singers, is actually singing in another competition in Spain as we speak, and will join us, and we'll bring her in whenever she can come in. But before that, I think that it would be important to make sure that everybody understands, once again, the audience prize, right, Eric? Is the link is in the description.
Link is in the description. www.premieroperafoundation.org/audience-prize. But it's in the description, yes.
And a little further down in the description, just so you all know, is next week, the way that the second part of this competition process will happen, which is live in New York, for the singers that could arrive into New York and sing live in front of a completely different jury of international casting directors. And from Tuesday through Friday, we will be hearing the semifinal auditions of those artists live. Mm-hmm. And then on next Saturday, so about this time next week, on
December
the 11th
11th
of December, Eric, you tell them about the finals.
No, please. I mean, December 11th, we're going to be live in New York with the, let's say, 12 to 15 finalists that will emerge from the live semifinals throughout all of next week. And we'll also live stream that concert via YouTube and social media. So if you're not able to get to New York, you'll still be able to hear the finalists that will be part of the live component of the competition. Really, it is, we said from the beginning, David, it's two competitions in one. It really is. I mean, and it's a lot of work, but it's exciting and invigorating. And, you know, I mean, just to speak, you know, again, to someone like Kimon, who was the first prize winner last year for as a male, it's great to see where he's been. And, you know, it's important to continue supporting artists like this and the mission of the foundation. So again, you know, it's important that, you know, we continue moving forward with the foundation, with the mission, but also as a business in general.
Absolutely. It's I'm just writing with, I'm getting messages from the Spanish soprano. So I think the other thing just to remember is that in the description, you can find the link to the live finals that will happen next week on the 11th of December from New York City, where you can see an entirely new group of discoveries for finalists. And then the other thing that will come out of that is at the end of that concert next week, we will be doing the award ceremony for all of the prizes, so that we will give all of the prizes for the virtual finalists and for the live finalists in an awards ceremony after the live concert next week. So
all in one, yes.
Exactly. So we've got you. It's a cliffhanger. It's just like an old episode of Dynasty. Linda Evans. No, oh, I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Myself.
I mean, you dated yourself.
Oh,
Plus, who watches Dynasty? What
I
is
watched
that?
Dynasty. I watched Dallas too. I'm from Dallas. How am I not going to watch
All right,
Dallas?
you're a
Somebody
Southerner,
gets
it's fine.
slapped. Somebody gets slapped, and there's a cliffhanger. So you have to come back next week to see who wins. That's the goal. Okay. So look, we're going to let the next the three of the next four singers in, and then if our fourth shows up, we'll let her in along the way. So here we go. Welcome all.
How are you guys? Hello.
Hello, everyone. This is wonderful. We are missing Rocio Faust from Spain, who is, like I said, is competing in another competition right now. But we are joined from again, literally many corners of the globe at this point. Eric?
Yes,
no,
absolutely.
Connecting. No, Eric, please.
No, it's very exciting. Everyone has very good hair too. We got some good hair here in this group. opera singer hair, right? Anyway, how are you guys? It's good to see you all. And I just, you know, if we could go around and I don't know if you want to just introduce yourself and say a little bit about, you know, where you are now and how are things moving forward for you during this period. Kevin, oh no.
Kevin, Jose, yeah, it's
yes, Jose.
Kevin, yeah, there you go.
Jose,
it's very complicated. That's what happens when you have like 4 or 5 names. No one can tell which one. Yeah.
Yes, Jose. Forgive me.
No worries. Everything's going great. I'm actually back home. I just arrived just a couple of days ago from the Netherlands, from Europe, and it's great to be here and see the family. Been away. Doing a couple of things, singing.
You were singing Traviata?
Yep, was doing a Traviata over there. Well, unfortunately, things are locking back down because of this new sort of spread of coronavirus. I think it's Omicron and all these things. So things are locking down, unfortunately, which really affects, obviously, a lot of the artists' lives and you know, well-beings and so a couple of the shows were sort of canceled, which helped me come back home and get a little bit of a rest period before the next thing. So, but everything's looking up great, thankfully.
Good. And rest periods are good, especially, you know, when you're singing and traveling, to get, you know, time to, you know, rest the voice and just kind of relax a little bit.
Right.
And family, getting to see family is also good.
That's
Keep
true.
a touch
Well,
down.
today's actually my birthday. So
are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They did a little little balloon birthday thing here. So
cute. Very nice.
I was glad to be here for that. So that was great.
Oh, happy birthday. Well, we'll all have to sing happy. We're going to get everybody back on. We're going to sing happy birthday afterwards.
Great. There you go. That's perfect.
Actually, Eric will do it. He's a tenor. Wow. And Maria Belen, where are you right now?
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
I'm in Argentina. That's
Oh,
why
wow.
I'm in this dress because it's summer. So, how are you,
Lucky
Eric?
you.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Wonderful.
No, Maria, I'll say, in Maria, what was it, 2018, you came to New York.
Yes.
And, yeah, and you were part of the vocal competition, and you sang in the master class with who? Barbara Fritzley,
Yes.
or? Tell us about that. Like, how was that experience, and then now doing this virtually?
Well, of course, it was different. If it was for me, of course, I want to travel, but pandemic times. And now I'm actually working in Colon Theater.
Bravo! Congratulations.
Thank you. So we are in the end of the year, so we are practicing every day. We are having a rehearsal. So, but in 2018, I was so happy to be in New York and have this time with you in the competition and with Beatrice Benzi. I saw her in 1 year later.
Oh, good.
In Milan, because I was traveling and make some auditions. So it was great to work with her. She's amazing, and like the other people in the jury, they're great and so warm with the new singers, the new artists. So I think this opportunity to be part of the competition, it's amazing for me, and I'm very grateful because I was kind of 1 year and 8 months only in my home practicing and so just trying to keep my voice and keep everything in the place, no?
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's good to let your voice be heard again, right? I mean, by other people and audiences, and when you're able.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes,
wow. And Navasard, you're in Yerevan. Hello, you're in
Armenia.
Yerevan now, yes?
Yes, I'm at home in Armenia this moment.
Ah, wonderful. And you sing in the theater in Yerevan, yes?
Yes. And first of all, I want to congratulate everyone who made it to the final. It's such a great opportunity for young singers to be heard by international and professional jury. And I am thankful for this competition, for giving us such a chance to participate online in these difficult times of pandemic. And I will say I will perform for you today the aria of Carlos Gerard from Andrea Chenier.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Navasar.
Wonderful. I think it's really it's interesting because this is the first time, I may be wrong, but all three of you are in theaters. You have relationships with theaters. So, and it's interesting because did the Teatro Colón continue performing throughout the pandemic the entire time, or did it shut down for a long period?
No, we shut down from March last year since, and we start to open again slowly, but in June.
In June, And Jose, you were in Amsterdam, but I mean, you're freelance now, but you were in Amsterdam fixed for a period of time. Did you spend most of the pandemic in Europe performing?
Yeah, well, when I was there, I was with the Dutch National Opera, and that was 2020 to 2021. So this was when things were pretty much creeping in, and I spent the big majority of it was during a lockdown. Yes, so a lot of the season was canceled, but we kept working at it. The studio, because at the time I was with the studio there. We never quite stopped. No one was always just at home, doing nothing. The work always continued, even though we didn't have specific performances to look forward to. Thankfully,
which is lucky.
It was a really great experience to not just waste time. We were always working. We were always helping each other out. It was a good group of people. We had a really nice. We kept encouraging each other, so that was really nice.
And Rosemary Joshua, who was on our jury the last time we had a fully live competition.
2019,
yeah, and it was great. And now I think they're thankfully they're still open, even though there's new protocols going on. I think all evening performances have been pushed down to matinees, and there's a certain limit of audience that they can have in the theater. But thankfully, they're able to continue on. Also, I wanted to say to Maria, by the way, from one Argentinian to another, un placer conocerla. Soy de Argentina, Buenos Aires.
Muchas gracias.
Un placer.
Igualmente.
Maybe you guys will sing together on the stage. I mean, look, tenor, soprano. There you go.
There you go.
And Navasad, has the theater in Armenia, has the theater continued to play, or has it been closed during the pandemic?
No. We work it every day.
Ah, wonderful.
Good.
So there is hope. Opera does continue. So this is great. Well, listen, like I said, our fourth singer in the final group, Rocio Faust, we wish her well. Let's all give her a toi 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 for the competition she's singing in Spain. I'm sorry that we didn't get to meet her here, but hopefully you will all meet her around the world in the opera family as time progresses. So we're going to listen to your singing now, and thank you for coming and sharing a little bit of your day with us here.
David, we have another good cast here. We have another good cast here, I think, baritone, tenor, soprano. We got to think. We got to think about this.
I'm thinking it could be a Traviata cast. Could be a Traviata cast for sure. Maybe on I Lombardi. So fabulous.
Make it
so
happen.
You guys, exactly.
I like the spirit. Thank you guys very much.
Fabulous.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. See you guys. Looking forward to hearing you now. So thank you for sharing some time with us. Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. There you go. So, Eric, now we're going to have our last four singers, and we're going to start with Maria Belén Rivarola with La Mamma Morta from Andrea Chenier, which we're going to hear two arias from Andrea Chenier.
Oh, see, that could be a good opera. Okay, for the past three, Andrea Chenier. I mean, maybe a little time, but that could be a good cast.
We could do it. So here we go, and then we'll see you guys all on the other side of these last four arias. So, La Mamma Morta, Andrea Chenier.
Wonderful. And next we're going to have Jose Romero singing Rodolfo's aria from La Boheme by Puccini. There you have it. Next, we're going to hear Rocio Faust sing the end of Romeo and Juliet by Gounod, the Poison aria by Juliette. Wow. So there we go. Now we are down to the last aria, the last singer of the virtual finals of the competition. And so we're going to finish with another aria from Andrea Chenier. Navasad Jacobian will sing Nemico della Patria, Gerard's aria from Andrea Chenier.
Nemico della patria, e fece fiamma che beatamente
And with that, we finish the singing for the virtual finals. We have gone from Mongolia all the way around to the West Coast. No, not even Mongolia. We've gone from South Korea all the way through Mongolia to the West Coast, stopping off in Switzerland, back and forth to the US a couple times.
Pretty amazing.
Wow. So that was good.
Some great singing.
Are you crying?
No.
You crying because Chenier gets his head chopped off?
Exactly.
I spoiled it for everybody.
Exactly right.
Now that you don't have to go to the opera because you know the ending. Exactly. Wow. Thank you to all of the singers. At the same time, I think we have to say thank you to everyone that participated in the qualifying round and the semifinal round, all the way down to these 15 finalists. It was a really, really great year of singing for us for the virtual part.
Yeah, absolutely. And to point out also, we remember also from last year, were a multitude of singers who didn't make it to the finals, but were in the semifinals that were heard by the panel that we know for sure then got a young artist position at a company, or got a second house, a house audition at a company when the house opened back up, or interest back and forth without even having made it to the finals, which that's what makes this exciting and interesting, that we're able to have the competition plus the theater casting component to it as well.
Absolutely. And I think that it's important to remember that work comes from all sorts of different places. And as we recall, many times the person who wins second prize winds up having as big or bigger a career as those who win first prize in competitions. But I think for our purposes, for the foundation, it's such a joy to simply find from all over the world and bring together in one place for those of you that are watching, those of you that support, those of you on the jury, to put them in one place so that you hear the wealth of talent in the world for the future of our art form, even coming out of this difficult period, the Fenice coming out of this difficult period as opera starts to rise again. So
absolutely.
A couple more things. Let's see. The audience prize again.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is what's exciting because it'll be open for 24 hours, the audience prize. So we'll shut it off, within a 24-hour period, but it gives you a chance to re-listen. If you haven't listened, then you're listening for the first time now, and just go and, in the YouTube description, there is the link for the audience prize where you could, choose one person that is your favorite, and then they will be awarded next weekend at the other concert. Also, in that description is also a link to donate. If you've liked or loved what you've heard here, if you've heard some exciting singing, some new young artists that are exciting to you that we've just discovered, that you could then follow them along their path, along their career, which is exciting. The fact that we are more connected this way through social media and YouTube and Facebook, Instagram, etc. So you can really keep tabs on the artist, and that's exciting to do. So we of course appreciate any type of donations, 501c3, totally tax deductible donation to the Premier Opera Foundation, which will allow us to continue the competition and our Vocal Arts Institute and the other programs that we have in the works that we're thinking about trying to initiate. So really, I mean, the business, these artists give back to us in so many ways. I mean, in ways, much of it could be, therapeutic. We hear this great singing, we hear this great opera, and it in a sense is a therapy for the soul and for us to move forward and just to become better human beings by being exposed to this art. So we really encourage you to continue to follow us, donate as you're able, and we really appreciate any type of support in any way. So thank you guys for that.
Absolutely. And then the last thing to remind you is mark your calendars that next Saturday, December 11th, will be the live finals or the finals concert of the live portion of the competition, the second competition, where you'll hear completely new singers that have been chosen for the finals by a completely new, different, important international jury that will hear them live in the hall. And you'll be able to hear a live concert via live stream and vote also for another audience prize on that concert.
Yes.
And then at the end, you'll get to see if your favorite singer won or which singers did win. So you can start following them in their career as they grow. So
yeah, and there's lots of stuff in the program too. Just don't forget to check out the program here. It's linked in the description, but you know, it'll tell you more about the foundation, the board of directors, the advisory board, and all of our past winners from the 4 years that we've done it so far. This is the 5th year. Who the winners were, what awards they won, and so that's exciting. You could kind of find them and figure out and see what they're up to now, and many of them are doing quite fantastically. So we're very excited about that.
Absolutely. And most of all, we want to thank all of you as well for taking time out of your Saturday afternoon or evening or late at night, depending on where you are, to share this time, to hear these artists, to listen to us chatting, to hear from some of the jury members so that you understand how the people on these juries actually think and what they look for. And we really look forward, hopefully, to seeing you again next week for the same thing. If you have any questions about the foundation and the function of the foundation, about our goals, about what we seek, if it's not clear, we love what we do. We love helping these artists. We love finding someone that moves us or that makes a sound that reminds us of the way it used to be and always should be. And we love helping them. And we know you do too. So if you want to reach out and talk about things like that, we're available as well. There's a link in the program and on the website, there's a contact us, and you can always reach out and begin a conversation with us about long-term involvement. So thank you
Absolutely.
all. Eric, you want to bring us to the end?
Please, and the
You
singers
want to
today.
sing me, bring it up to the close.
I love that line.
It's a good one. We all cry. We all cry.
No, absolutely. And the singers today, I mean, thank you guys. Look, I would have loved to also hear you all live, but this is, what we're in, and we thank you for taking part of this process. I mean, it is a way to be heard that we've kind of, along with other companies have, put forward in this pandemic period, to still be heard, still, discover new talent. So that's very exciting. We're thankful for the singers today. David, it's been an experience. It's been fun. It's been an honor.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we're both wearing jackets now. Usually we're like talking and we're looking like we're off to, I don't know, clean the basement. So look at us.
You had it.
Real nice.
No. Yeah, no, I'm always dressed pretty well, but I know you had a hoodie. You had a hoodie on before you put on that jacket. I will tell everyone.
I was trying to relive my youth. It didn't work out.
There you go.
No, my wife told me, "Are you going on camera?" I said, "Yes." She goes, "You're going to need to take that off." So
okay, good. I'm glad she did because I was going to do it if not.
Oh, okay. There we go. So, this is us signing off from Italy and New York. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much, and we hope to see you next Saturday. So, thank you very much. It's an honor and pleasure, and we'll see you soon.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
Bye bye.